Hey, what's up gang? Kwai50 here with another Fate Grand Order video for you, and if you were not aware, Fate Strange Fake has been confirmed to be getting an anime adaptation. This is excellent news because Fate Strange Fake is honestly an incredible Fate story. I highly recommend that you find some sort of way to read it since there's not really an official release for it right now. Well, Yarhar fiddly-dee, I'll let you take from that sentence what you will. But there is something additional. The creator of Strange Fake, a lot of people once assumed that he didn't really want any Strange Fake servants to show up in FGO until the story was finished. We have learned recently he has clarified his statements, and that is not true. He is totally fine with certain Strange Fake servants showing up in FGO. That's 100% okay. So of course, this means we have to talk about which servants should show up. Much like with the last video I did for you of characters to free from NPC jail, I've got 3 Strange Fake servants I think would be absolutely wonderful additions to FGO. So if you agree with really any of these, then you've got to go ahead, like and subscribe. Even if you don't, go ahead, like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments which Strange Fake servant you would like to see. Alright, let's get started. So the first servant I would really like to see is the Beautiful Assassin. Yes, that is her name, the Beautiful Assassin. Now, you probably don't know who this is, but she is honestly quite horrifying. You see, the Beautiful Assassin was a Hassan-e-Saba candidate. Yes, she was a candidate to succeed the Old Men of the Mountain. And in order to try and do that, see, here's how you become a Hassan. You need to achieve a miracle, and in achieving that miracle, the rest of the Assassin Order recognizes you, and then you become the new Hassan. This miracle manifests with these Hassans in the form of their noble phantasms, their Zabaniya. Well, this Beautiful Assassin mastered 18 Zabaniyas. She can use 18 Zabaniyas, including Cursed Arms as well as the first Hassan's Zabaniya. This is absolutely horrifying. Now, all the other assassins were honestly afraid of her, and they basically told her, hey, listen, I know you've mastered 18 Zabaniyas, but these were other Hassan's Zabaniyas. You need to come up with your own Zabaniya, so we are not going to go ahead and make you a Hassan. Sorry, so sorry. She was eventually, put in her place 100% when Hassan of the 100 Faces ended up becoming the next Hassan-e-Saba. So there you go. There's definitely going to be some sort of clash if she shows up in the game with Hassan of 100 Personas, faces, however you want to say it. But I really think this could give us a very interesting assassin servant with a very interesting noble phantasm who could also show up as a horrifying character in the form of events. 18 Zabaniyas? This I gotta see. The second servant I would like to see is, of course, Alcides. Of course, this is Heracles. You can refer to him as maybe Heracles' altar, but it's iffy. It's iffy on whether or not he truly qualifies as an altar. Also, this archer version of Heracles, well, he's also half Avenger, give or take. He is basically as busted can be. How busted, you ask? Well, Enkidu ends up surveying Alcides during the course of this Holy Grail War, and Enkidu realizes, oh god, Alcides is at least as powerful as Gilgamesh, and with Gilgamesh being at the tippy top of the totem pole, that is quite the strong claim. And coming from Enkidu, well, you can be sure there's not really going to be that much bias. Enkidu just knows what Gilgamesh's strength is, and to be able to give out that reasoning, that is very high praise. Alcides' noble phantasm is King's Order, and King's Order is a complicated noble phantasm. See, this version of Heracles doesn't have his divinity or his immortality, so he doesn't have the multiple lives from his noble phantasm like he does in Fate Stay Night. However, instead, the man gets 12 other noble phantasms, one for each life, and each one is related to a specific labor that he ended up going through. The first one being, of course, the Nemean Lion, and this one is really, really powerful and allows him to go toe-to-toe with Gilgamesh. It cannot be penetrated by any weapon from the Gate of Babylon. I know we've already got Super Orion in there as the Giga Chad Archer, but maybe another wouldn't necessarily hurt. And finally, of course, we've got to talk about Richard the Lionheart, the only saber in Fate Strange Fake's Holy Grail Wars. Because, yeah, I didn't let you know, but there's multiple servants of each class, but read Fate Strange Fake if you want to learn more about that. Richard the Lionheart is an absolutely incredible servant, and this man shares some similarities with our boy Mandricardo. Much like Mandricardo can pick up something and make it Durandal briefly, Richard can also pick up something and make it Excalibur. This related to Richard's ceaseless quest to find King Arthur's holy relic, since he was raised on those stories. Also, on top of that, Richard has a noble phantasm that allows him to summon some of his knights. That's right, it's not as busted as, say, Iskandar's noble phantasm, where he summons a literal army with Ionian Heteroi, and it is very, very limited by the amount of magic that his master is able to supply him with. In Strange Fake, of course, in order to balance him out, he kind of has a master who doesn't really have any magical energy, so he's not able to really make full use of this noble phantasm. But Richard is still able to summon some pretty formidable warriors to fight along his side, even servants who are inscribed into the Throne of Heroes, though they may end up a little bit weaker. I really think Richard would be an excellent servant that we could even build the entire Strange Fake event around. I feel like that is the most likely way that we are going to see him show up, and I think he would have some really interesting animations, maybe a noble phantasm built around some sort of Excalibur, or summoning all of his friends to help him fight. Richard the Lionheart, very impressive saber. You should totally look into him. But those are just 3 of the many servants that Fate Strange Fake has to offer, and I need to ask you, which Fate Strange Fake servant would you like to see show up most in Fate Grand Order? There are a ton of candidates, and some, especially I didn't even mention, that would also be cool options. Go ahead and look up Pale Rider, for example, if you want to be utterly horrified. If you want to check out more FGO videos, you can browse the channel. If you want to talk more FGO, my Discord server is, of course, always open. I want to give a big thanks to patrons on Patreon, subscribers and followers on Twitch, and all of you here on YouTube for giving me the motivation to continue making these videos. I legitimately appreciate it. Thank you all so much for your support, in whatever form it may be. Anyways, gang, that's it for me, Kawaii50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day. I'll see y'all in the next one.